Hi, if you are watching this, it means you love cars. Me too. I also do it as professionally, and I'm a car designer. I heard from lots of people like you that you want to sketch cars, design cars, and learn how to do it. For this reason, I created a template pack and tutorial series that you can download and put your own design on the top of my guidelines. This video you will watch now is actually part of the free version. If you go to link below, you will be able to download free version, which has two templates for hatchback. Just download it easily and print them, sketch on them, and see how you like it, and how easy to put your own idea on paper. Then after you enjoy and learn from them, I'm sure you will check the full pack. It's also on the same link below. Also, you will have more videos on full pack version. Alright, let's start to the video to see how I used one of those templates. I really can't wait to see your feedback on comments. Thank you. Hi. When you print those templates, you will see it like that, like lower opacity, like very light gray. It's actually 9% of black. This way, I hope you will not get distracted by the lines that I draw, and you will focus more on your design, and you can still use those reference lines. You can print them on A4 or A3 or whatever size you want, of course, but I personally prefer A4 paper size, because it's smaller and it's more compact to carry with you to somewhere, and it's also easier to handle the overall sketch. Like when it's smaller, you can see that all the lines, all the perspective, all the volumes, you can definitely understand it better. And when it's get bigger, you can start to get lost, you can start to focus on only some parts of the design. You can only focus here, and when you just zoom out, you can see that there are some problems. To avoid those problems, generally, if you're sketching on a normal paper, you can just flip the paper and you can see the image mirrored version. So this way you can see your perspective problems, your design problems, and you can fix it. To avoid that, I already flipped the images for you, so you don't need to check with another technique. You can directly see the difference. And there are also 4 sizes on each paper. Smallest one, I think it's better for creating a concept or deciding the general layout of the design, and then you can improve it here or here, and by time you can finalize it on the biggest image. Or you can use another technique, which is you can design different cars on each image, and you can pick one of them, and then you can print it again to improve the design. That's the good thing of this digital product, because you are not buying a book, so you have unlimited number of choice to print. So this way you can practice as much as you want. What I want to warn you about is here on the reference lines, sometimes I have like some edgy lines or some design elements. They are not so visible, but I don't want you to be distracted by them. For example, on this example, you see the headlight, something like a edgy sharp corner here. But the reason of that is not having a design, it's just to show you where should be the headlight. You can still make it very organic, rounded headlights, or you can make it totally like a very thin line, or depends on your concept, maybe you will not even have headlights here. So I really want you to focus on your own idea, your own creativity, your own design. Just use those lines for reference lines. So just to give you an example, I want to start with the small one here. And when I sketch on the small size, to be honest, I don't care much about the wheel perfect circle. Let's create something more like an organic here, for example, just to have an opposite of this edgy design. And we can get example from Alfa Romeo. And we can start drawing just the spokes of the rims, and I can even exaggerate them more. As you see, I'm just going a bit out of the lines of the wheel, it's totally fine. And then I start to create the general silhouette of the car. I'm just putting the wheels, because it's always better to put the wheels and the ground line. This way it seems like the car is already sitting on the floor, sitting on the ground. And then I can put the middle line of the car, which is called Y0. It's coming from Y-axis, and 0 means the middle. And this way I can put the grille first. I can just make it really big like this. I don't know, maybe it's like Alfa Romeo Mito. Then we can create some kind of soft rounded line, soft rounded headlight. I'm putting the front muzzle and the rear muzzle, again roundish, and greenhouse and the front light, front windshield, sorry. And then I can put like a smiley face here, just to have one variation. And this headlight on the template, it's barely visible on the other side. So I can move that headlight here. And I can add the front muzzle here. So it's not so much visible because of the angle, but we still see a little bit of this headlight. Then we can put the doors and whatever we want here as a design. I don't want to go into so much details because it's a small one. The idea is just to find a face for the design or just find a general layout for the design. So let's say this is done. And then I want to show you that it's possible to create different designs on the same template. So from this one, let's say it was smiley and soft design. And we can pick one of them. We can pick this one to make it more edgy, more aggressive. Let's say this one is more aggressive and edgy design. We can even try to make it like a Lamborghini. I don't know, it's just for fun. Well, let's give it a try. I can put like a triangle Lamborghini logo, so it's almost Lamborghini. Okay, it's a bad joke. I'm putting 5-spoke rims here. Sharp ones. Again, I don't care so much about the wheels. I mean, I'm not focusing on it on the design. And here we can use more sharp lines. I don't know, I'm really doing something random, and you can sometimes just let your hand to do the work. You don't have to think always about the design totally. Like some edgy stuff going on here, some kind of triangle here, like a nose. And I'm putting the silhouette of the car. So this line, this shoulder line, follows also on the other side. And this is the middle line, Y0. And you can decide the shape of the face here. And then I want to make something sharp, but I'm not totally sure, so I'm just experimenting here. It's weird to sketch a Lamborghini hatchback, to be honest. And here also we can make even straight, like a conceptual. Then we continue with sharp edges here. And again, the ground line, the wheels, also from the other side. So as you see, I don't focus so much on the line quality on these sketches. I'm more focused on the design and the idea, because they are the small ones and it's better to find the idea freely. Because when you focus too much on your line quality or the shading, you can lose the idea. You can sketch like an existing car, and that's not car design is for. It's more like doing art. So for car design, you need to find a new idea and put your creativity on paper. And here, I'm again putting some sharp edges. And you can already see like this is more smiley face, this is more aggressive and edgy design. And you can do another one here. And after that, we can start on the final one. So now we can make the big one, and now we can go a bit more into details maybe. And let's try to create something like a BMW 1 Series here. So the best way is, here I was a bit more rough. I was just sketching very sharp and without caring too much about the line quality. But here, if you want, we can be a bit more precise. And let's start with the silhouette of the car. I'm not putting so much pressure on paper. Just creating the silhouette to be sure that I'm having the right proportions, thanks to these templates, of course. And here on the center we can put the BMW logo already. It can motivate you to get this feeling from the company. And here I like to do the bottom line of the car and the ground line with relaxed lines without putting so much pressure. Okay. Now, as you know, BMW on the side windshield, this is that area. It has like a ending which is coming backwards, this shape. And generally the door follows it, and this is what you have on the side. So here I want to create something like that, which is coming from BMW design DNA. I create this side windshield more or less, again without putting so much pressure. And here I'm gonna create a headlight, but again even if we get some elements from BMW design, our goal is not to copy totally BMW 1 Series, because I want to encourage you to design something new. Unfortunately, many of students focus more on the line quality and the sketch rather than design. So it's a big risky approach. So here, let's try something different. We can make it like we can connect with the kidneys, but in a different shape, like even bigger than current BMWs, which are already huge. So I'm trying to see what can we do. You can always go front and back and side. You can always mix up your process. I never start from somewhere and go to backwards. It doesn't work like that. So to put 5 spokes here, I will first divide the circle into 5, both wheels, and then it will go straight and go to the wheel center. So this way we will have a depth of the rim. And I can put also the depth to the wheel itself. And then we can start to design also our rims. I like to put quickly triangles on each spoke, or some other shape, depends on your own taste. All right, then we can always go more details, but as I said, I will more focus on the exterior design rather than the details. If you want to go too much on details, you can print this paper on A3 and you can go to details later. Anyway, let's go back to headlights. I also don't want to make it like a closing here and doing a typical headlight. So we can add something more like, I don't know, something like that. To have headlight here, and we can make a surface treatment here, going inside and outside. But now it looks a bit like Seat actually, or Skoda, I don't know. But that's how to find out the right design. We need to try again and again to go the right direction. Like after we finish this sketch, we can say this is wrong and we can sketch it again. So here on the kidneys, let's make them a bit darker. And here I want to add an air intake or an area for the fog light. And here again our logo. Here I put the mirrors. And we can put this front line. Some side treatments. Let's put it down here. This line goes down, and here's a bit more like a 2 generation ago, you know, this shoulder area from 2 past generations. And more or less we have our design idea, let's say. And now I can take a bit thicker big pen again By the way, I like using big pens. They're really useful and efficient. And this is the thicker version. It's called Crystal 1.6 millimeters. This helps me to emphasize the lines that I want to stress out. So generally the windshield and the greenhouse, the side window, let's say, it's called greenhouse. I want to make them thicker to emphasize. Again, I'm sketching quicker because it's not like a rendering, or it's not like copying an image, copying a photograph. It's just a sketch. It's more ideation. Outlines a little bit. And on the sketch, for example, our focus point is around this area. So when I go further from this area, I will not emphasize the lines so much. So this way, when the sketch is finished, we will see this area more. Let's emphasize the kidney a little bit here. We can put this shape. We can add some shadow here. A bit of surface treatment. And this area can go a bit shadow. And then I can try to put the wheel arch. It's also an important element for different cars. We can make a bit of dark inside for the wheels. Again, guys, it's a quick sketch, so I'm not trying to be super precise, but it's still more precise than these two sketches because they're totally rough. And if you want to go back, for example, this one here, let's not leave it alone here. And we can add very quick concept here. For example, let's make a total straight line. Let's say it's a very flat, but also minimal design. Just to show the concept. As you see, it's very rough. It's more like a doodle rather than a sketch. And doodle is generally smaller size and rough sketch, we can say. I can even put like 6 spokes just to show where is the wheels. And we can have different concepts on the side, like a folding area here. And on the face, I'm just doing some random shapes, to be honest. But it's already done. As you see, it's very rough, and just to have an idea. So if you like some ideas here, you can put it back on the big one. But here our goal is creating a bit more detailed design, but still it's not like a photograph. Then we can add some details to this kidney rather than that one only. I mean, exactly this kidney. We can put, I don't know, some chrome element here. It doesn't look like chrome. Let's put some shading. And we can add some depth here. So now this is more inside that area. And you can also use some markers. I will copy what did I do with this marker process. And on the some other of templates on the full pack, you will see some other videos about these things. So I started with the dark marker. I like these AD markers because they're ballpoint friendly. Normally Copic markers or some other markers can ruin the ink from ballpoint pen. But these ADs are really good. They don't harm your lines. And with this dark one, I just put, as you see, only the holes, let's say headlight and the grille, the air intake. And then with a lighter gray, I just put some shading into the wheel. And we can put the other wheels and the ground, just to show the car has a good stance. Then we can put like some shadows and reflections on some areas. But again, this is not a marker tutorial or a detailed marker sketch, so it's very rough again. Then I get my thicker pen and darken some lines that I want to emphasize, because we focus more on this area of the sketch, so we can focus on these details more than the other ones. For example, on the real wheel, I will not even touch it anymore. It's enough that we see the wheel there. Another thing about these markers, I have to say that I also got many comments from other car designer friends. We love these things because they smell great. And if you're in a small room, or if you're sketching for longer than 5 minutes, you can really get high. It's a strong smell and alcohol inside. So as you see, we used that template, the hatchback front. This is updated. It's now called hatchback front. We used it for finding 4 different concepts. And now if you like one of them, for example, you can print it out again, or you can print it out on A3 size paper, and you can definitely go into more details because it's unlimited time, unlimited source, let's say. So I hope you like that one. I will continue with some other templates for the full pack, like I did a sports car here. We have again the hatchback. We have some SUVs. We have another sports car front perspective. So I will share the timeline videos of those as well. And you will have like 30 different templates. This is considered one. Thank you.